Transformers Tatakai, aka Call of the Future, is a Japanese-only PS2 action beat-em-up game released back in 2003. I find it to be an interesting game, a bit rough around the edges, but ultimately not a bad effort. Now I might be biased in saying this since I'm a Transformers fan, but the intro to the game has to be one of the coolest intros I've seen. If you're not fanboying out at that, then nothing else will move you. The game itself does feel a bit sluggish in terms of response and feedback with the moves. It's not fluid like Devil May Cry or such games. To me it's more in the style of your classic 80s or 90s scrolling beat 'em up game. I think that's why I can overlook the game's shortcomings, as these types of games were some of my favourites from the 90s era. The game is quite difficult, at least for a starting player. I know with myself I never like to pick easy modes in games, but you might be better off doing that here, as you will be able to ease yourself into the game more gently and get to learn the ropes and moves the game offers without getting destroyed and frustrated with the CPU killing you every 5 steps. With seemingly only 10 continues to beat the game, it might be too much for some to handle. I swear the CPU is programmed to come straight after you with a vengeance. The only reason they will attack your allies is if they're in the way of punching you in the face. It's the same with them blasting you from across the screen too, like these stupid gun turrets you face on the stage where it's very windy, so it makes movement, which is already a bit tricky, even that more difficult and annoying. Why they introduced this stage so early or even at all in the game is a mistake, as it will see most players quit there instead of carrying on to better stages. The dodge attack is almost a bit useless, you're better off blocking, but you can easily find yourself stuck in block as people gang up on you. Your best defensive move is using your burst attack. This will use up some of your EP meter though. I found doing punches put me at more risk because they're so slow to come out, and when you're surrounded it's really a bad idea to use punch. Using kick was always the better option, especially when using Prime, since he has a roundhouse kick that can clear the swarms around you. This is handy if you don't have any EP meter, which is what you use to do your special moves along with transforming and doing even more special moves. When transformed, every bot has 2 specials, usually some kind of ramming move along with something else. In the case with Prime, he does his laser turret attack. You also have another super bar called SC, which stands for Spark Combo. When you do this, you go into auto attack super button bashing mode. You must pick 2 other Autobots to go out with you. You can then add them to the formation tab. Putting them in different positions will mean they will act in different ways. So at the front means attack, by your side is normal, which I guess is them doing a mix of things, and behind you is guard and assist. You can change this on the fly in game, which is good because you might find yourself struggling with the stage and need to make changes. Especially try and keep your allies alive, as if it comes down to just you fighting alone with still a ton of spawning enemies on the way, you might find yourself overwhelmed and defeated. At the very least you can use your allies as a distraction to getting close to bosses, I found. As you play through the game and get further, more characters will be unlocked and will join your party, so don't worry if you don't see Bumblebee etc at the start and want to play with them, you'll get them eventually. Eventually after playing for a couple of stages you'll be back in the menu screen where you can select garage and make upgrades to your bots using the Energon cubes you collected while playing. You really don't get many Energon cubes to play with, so you're pretty much forced to upgrade the main Autobot you play with the most, as spreading your cubes across the whole team is not ideal if you're never going to play with that particular Autobot. This will see you running around like a madman collecting all those sweet little cubes as they explode over the floor. Once you get into the game and really grasp the mechanics of the combos and the special moves, you will start to link them all far better. Working within constraints of the fighting engine, you will also learn how you can use other moves for completely different reasons than what they were intended for, like using your specials to help you cancel out projectile attacks etc. I'll admit the level design could have been better, but it's passable. You'll be more focused on fighting everything the game throws at you, and it does get tougher the further you get, so you'll have to put every trick you've learned into work. The story really surprised me. It was far more entertaining than the last Transformer game I reviewed. It was well written and well voice acted. I mean this in terms of a Transformers story. It's not going to win any writers awards or anything, but it was just like watching the classic shows. I was fully engaged and parts generally made me laugh, like this scene with Megatron and another character. It was just so funny. The story really is the embodiment of the Transformers spirit. They absolutely nailed it in that regard. You also get the added bonus of playing as each side with their own version of the story. There's a lot of playable Transformers to unlock, I think somewhere between 30 to 40, so there's plenty of reasons to replay the game. The game is about 6 hours long the first time through, if you watch all the story parts, but can be beaten quicker after that, especially since you keep all the upgrades and bots you found in each playthrough. Playing as different bots certainly keeps the game fresh and you'll have extra fun. It's too bad the game is not 2 players, but it can still be loads of fun. Now I can understand this game could become repetitive for most people. It's an old school IP with an old school gameplay. If you're into beat 'em ups like Final Fight or Streets of Rage, I think you will enjoy this. I'm not saying this game is on those levels, but if you're just in the mood to beat up on some bots, it's an easy game to put on without investing too much time, as you can easily save each section and come back another time. The music is a mix of different beats, so it's hard to say if it's something you might enjoy overall, from drum and bass to more chill out melodies. For me, I really liked it. Oh, you guys know I like to show you the box and stuff, especially when it's cool, but just look at that cover to the booklet. I think it's better than the box cover. That cover just screams awesomeness. That should have been the box art, but oh well. I can't understand why this game never came out in the West. Given you can change the language to English and the game is fully voiced in English, I feel like so many fans and even kids of that time missed out on a fun game. This might lack the polish of the other Transformer game I reviewed, but make no mistake about it, if you're a G1 fan, then this is a game you should have in your collection. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you next time.